Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, yeah, things have turned around really quickly here. And we actually have the turn already, which is phenomenal. Really quite excited. And it's going to be really fun. Oh man, it's going to be fun. I actually cannot wait to see what happens. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know really how well it's going to go for us, but I don't think it's going to go too terribly for us either, so at least we have that going. I've got a little bit of this optimism, probably unfounded, but I feel this bit of optimism, so that's okay. Hello there, how are you doing there, AT? How are you doing, my friend? Okay. So what we'll do then is we'll give this stream about, I don't know, a couple moments, just get some time in here, let some people join. You guys definitely love to see the turn resolution, as do I. So there, Mia, how are you doing there, Lander? How are you guys? Ooh. What do we hope to happen this turn? That's going to be an interesting thing. Hello there, Swordfish. I've never actually personally crucified somebody, but I think you might be the first. So there, I know how you do, my man. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. See, we have not too terribly much that can go particularly wrong, which is nice. There's no critical operations as such right now. I do want my destroyers and light cruisers to actually leave missing. But it will be quite interesting to actually see what happens. Hello there, Klaus. How you doing, my friend? Awesome. Right then, here we go. No. That was mine. Was it mine? Which one was mine? I think it was 13, actually. Living on a prayer. I think it was this one. Yes, that would be the 17th there. That would be correct. Hello there, Lupus. How you doing, my man? Tenno Hiker Banzai indeed. I do hope audio's alright. Seems alright on my end. So let's see how this turns out then, shall we? I'm a little bit nervous here, but yeah, I've still got that optimism. Still got that spicy optimism. Yeah, feel the balsa winds. Okay. Right, that would be a allied submarine there. Okay, so we've actually detected the submarine here. So there, Major, how you do, my man? Right, I'm quite happy that we've actually got the drop on the allied submarine here. If we could... Right, okay, escort abandons... Right, fair enough, so we didn't actually inflict any hits there. We did rattle the sub. Right, there we go, merged. Tell Lupus to hurry up with a Guadalcanal turn. Lupus, you have been told. Okay, so it looks like Otabru is going to be relatively undefended here. Hello there, Sly. See, you couldn't stay away, could you? You've had to admit that sleep is in fact not necessary for survival. See, he may actually damage some of our G3s over here to Otabru, but we will be sweeping this turn. Which is going to be remarkably interesting to see how effective that turns out to be. God, I do wish I could tell them to ignore the motor-launched torpedo boats. I wish I could tell them that. Right, Captain elects not to launch torpedoes at the target. Well, there we go, it's finally sunk in there. They're not worth it. Because they're not. I mean, what do we get? Hello there. Oh, son of a... They missed. I hope we do pick her up again, because that is too big to actually miss. Okay, we've finally reached Tarawa here. I do hope that we pick up that troop transport again, because I do not want to miss that. If that is loaded, that is too good to miss. Way too good to miss that. Right, we're unloading at Tarawa. Right, merged. And what do we have here then? There we go, we have our first kill here, ideally. It seems it's not alone either. At one torpedo, she goes down, we can hear from the sound effects there. Lots of mergers here, isn't there? Right, what do we have here? And a second hit. Oh, very nice. Oh my god, this was actually... Yeah, so this was the submarine out from Noumea. We've actually managed to turn her about at the right time there. It'll be worth it, though. It will be worth it. Yeah, so that's actually some really nice clutch luck there. The fact that we've actually turned about from Nemea, because we had no idea of any other additional ships here, so this is actually quite good. I don't think he's going to be too confident in this area, actually. Right, air operations in the game. Okay. Allied ships have been sighted. Yeah, many ships have been sighted here. 4 Allied ships sighted. Okay. 6 Allied ships there by Bataan. 3 Allied ships by Manila. Shadow in water, they're detected by the D3A1 valves. Right, we do have further ships outside of Fiji here. We may pick them up with the submarines. We may. I'd ideally like to see that. Catalina's near Pearl Harbor. Supposedly, sightings of carriers again. Okay, so here we go with these zeros. It's a shame they've arrived on their own, actually. Ideally, we come off in a decent exchange here. Right. One of them's withdrawn here. See, the thing is, we are engaging them. Yeah, firing from behind, so we are behind them here. 1 Buffalo down. He may have the numbers here, though, so that is... I think we're probably going to see some zeros shot down, but they need to do a good job here. Buffalo damage. Buffalo dies for the deck. Right, we are diving still. Right, that's 1 down. The enemy is firing upon our zeros as well, but we are getting... Yeah, we're getting the hits on them here. I anticipate losing... I don't know, I'm going to say we'll probably lose about 3 zeros, give or take. I'm hoping that we don't lose any, but we'll see how things go. That's another 1 damage, that's another 1 on fire there. Right, that zero's dying for the deck. They may not make it back. Right, that's another 1 damage, and dives for the deck. Again, they may not make it home due to the fact of damage. Right, another 1 span out on fire. Right, that zero was dived on. See, our zeros do have that maneuverability, which is very important here. They also do have a fair bit of firepower, which is quite a deadly combination. The enemy does have the numbers here, however. We are given a good exchange here, considering that we are outnumbered to a degree. We do have the KI-43s of various models to come in here as well, so that would be nice. Right, so we have lost a zero here at last. As long as we can have a favourable exchange rate, that's for the best. Wow, take a look at the amount of submarines around here. That's not too encouraging. That's another Buffalo down. The thing is, he's not going to have a great number of actual replacements for his actual fighters here. So what we need to do then is really use this attrition. Yeah, this is a game against the Historical Gamer, so this is Return Resolution Live. There we go, that's another Warhawk on fire there. Right, so I'm going to... Well, we've lost 1-0 for sure. We may lose an additional 3 due to the actual damage they've sustained. They've died to the deck, but they basically left the battle. The airfield of Cotoparu... Sorry, their base at Singora. Singora isn't too far away. We do have an... Ooh. Right, that's another 0 down. That critical hit did do a good job there. So 2 zeros are definitely dead. I'm going to surmise that we might lose an additional 4 here, give or take, and that would be the worst odds. But we are doing fairly well, and considering that we do have the K-43s to follow up soon, ideally anyway. Yeah, additional ones arriving. Right Buffalo damaged. Low on ammunition. You see the range is very close. See how there was 5 down to 3, 2, 1. Right Buffalo destroyed. See, we'll lose pilots here, but the pilots that do survive will grow in experience and ideally become aces. Don't worry about losses, that's Pappy Boyington and all his best pilots. I like that, Pappy. Yeah. Hello there, No Name. Well, we did have a submarine attack on one of the actual American, well, Allied troop transports. 2 torpedoes unfortunately did miss. Though we have so far this turn hit 2 transports. There was supposedly a sighting of a carrier, but we haven't seen anything of that yet. Currently, we are performing our sweep over here at Johor Bahru with our A620 squadron, which unfortunately has arrived before the KA-43s. We've definitely lost about 2 zeros. A lot more of them have died for the deck, or obviously left the battle due to the fact of running out of munitions. But we have shot down a fair few of the enemy so far. Yeah, I'll have to look him up, sounds rather interesting. Right, low on ammunition. But I think we've had a favourable exchange rate here. See, I'm somewhat worried about all the number of submarines over here, but this is... Right, another Warhawk down. I'm quite glad that we do obviously have the bombers, the VALs... Well, actually, no, we don't have any VALs here, do we? No, we don't. We do have naval attack. I don't think they would attack the submarines. I'm not entirely sure if they would do that. I do wonder if it's actually the naval search that's picking them up from the naval attack missions. But either way, we can move around this, and we do have a lot of ASW capabilities. But you see how well this smaller squadron of Zeros is doing here against these allied aircraft. Just imagine once we have about 40 in the air, or 60 in the air. We will have a lot of Zeros in the next week, and he's going to find things shift significantly here. Once we take control of the skies over Malaya, that's when things start to shift dramatically. And to be honest, it's like, I did say the Battle of Mersing was a tactical Allied victory, but as the days go on by, things are starting to look more interesting. Granted, we lost Haruna, granted we lost a couple thousand men at sea, which does suck, don't get me wrong, but Mersing may yet fall, and he's not going to prevent us from taking Malaya. So I'd say it's probably a draw, in all honesty, but it is shifting towards our favour here. Okay, so confirmed is 1H81, 2 Buffaloes. Obviously it's more than that, and obviously it's more, potentially more than this. We'll have to take a look at what we have that arrives home, to be honest. But yeah, you see 20 KA-43 Oscars have arrived here. Now these are the LA, well the 1A variants, so they only have the machine guns. But yeah, now we have numbers here to absolutely decimate him. And then of course we'll still have the other Zeros coming in. Sorry, the other Oscars coming in. I can't wait to burn every single biplane in existence. There we go, Buffalo damaged. Oh yeah, THG is doing a really good job. I mean, the thing is, it's not like we're playing one-on-one, it's like we are playing with our communities. We do have a lot of people helping us on both sides. So it honestly is one of the most... Honestly, I think it's probably the most fantastic project I've ever embarked upon, really, here. I just love the fact that we have so much that we can share in. It's great to have like a little community building around it, to be honest. We are going to keep this going until we finish it, really, so that could be next year, could be the year after, could be the year after that. As long as it's going, we'll keep going. Okay, we are doing well here. Now, of course, these 1A Oscars don't have the killing power of the Zeros, but they are getting behind his fighters. I do find it interesting that we are still diving on him and we're still getting behind him. I'd imagine it's probably due to the altitude potential differences and just the fact that we may have more maneuverable fighters, to be honest. There we go, critical hit. Right, we'll speed this one up. Okay. Now, it's saying no allied losses, but I imagine we've inflicted damage there. And here we go, 24k, 40 freeze, 1 Bs with no opponents. Right, he's hitting Bangkok. Yeah, see, he's sweeping Bangkok, actually. 2 zeros, probably not the best. You wouldn't really want to arrive there. Oh, right, these are the flights from Formosa. I forgot to cancel them. But it seems they've not been targeted anyway, so that's not too bad then, is it? At least we can inflict some damage on them, which we have done, 105 casualties. Right, more Oscars. Yeah, so it seems like we've cut through his combat air patrol here. What do we have here then? So he's actually launching bombers against the actual infantry here at Mersing. Indeed. Yeah, a fair few there. Notice the fact, so what do we have here? Hudson's, Buffaloes, Blenheim's. He's launching a lot of bombers here. Bombers at Bangkok. Yeah, that'd be good to know. Right, B-17s are going to do some damage. And I accidentally skipped that one too quickly. I wanted to actually take a look at that result there. Right, we've already seen that 13 G4M1 Bettys are unable to locate due to range or weather. Though we do have vastly more torpedo bombers going out this turn. Ideally, we will see success. Task Force 16 detects Allied aircraft at 1539. 153 was it? 159? That does sound quite good. Right. We'll probably see not many of them actually take off, but if we do have some of them take off, I would be happy. 24 unable to take off there. Okay, he's bombing us here. Thunderstorms over the target, that does make it difficult. Notice that we do have flak here, which is quite nice. Yeah, he's hitting my runway. So one of our aircraft was supposedly damaged, but I think they'll be looked after. Right, so the Zeros aren't actually there escorting, which is actually really quite handy. That's very good news. I don't know if they'll be able to protect them completely, but at least this is going to maul some of these fighters, ideally. Yeah, they'll go one Buffalo down. Another one damaged. Yep, aborts. Okay, one of our Zeros falls away there, trailing smoke. Ideally, they do make it out alive. That's another Buffalo down. See, once we have the numbers of Zeros, that is going to make it significantly better for us. They are quite heavily outnumbered, which is a shame. We are reducing the numbers of fighters, though, so that is very important. That's another Buffalo down. Right, now they're into the bombers. Right, it's another one down. Yep, there we go. Our planes are good. He does have good planes himself. He has definitely better bombers than we do. Yeah, we're losing quite a few bombers here. Right, okay, so we do lose about 5 of them. What do we find here? Okay, something that's not even worth attacking, but still. I would like to see a torpedo in her. And we do not. Okay. So we do lose a few of our bombers here, but we do destroy 2 of the buffaloes. And the main important thing here is the fact that we are destroying his fighters. That's what we need to do, is eliminate his fighters in the area. Once he has no fighters, yeah, he's going to find it significantly more difficult to operate in this area at all. It's good to see the Zeros were operating there in escort. Right, what do we have here? I-166. Okay. What do we have here? Right. Interesting. Due to damage. Damage to the submarine or damage to the actual target? I'd imagine damage to the submarine, which is interesting. We didn't actually see that many naval bombers fly. Goddamn Chinese. Right, deliberate attack at Mersing. Okay, it seems like he's been reinforced by the 27th. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Definitely gonna hurt. 400 casualties there, 140. Okay. Well, the fact is, whoops, not my microphone here. Well, actually, let's see. We did knock out some of his guns here. He's had to commit, additional forces to the actual battle. Major, if you could actually send me that link in the Discord, I'd take a look at it now, but I'm in full screen, so I'd have to like tab out. So, I mean, if you could send me that on Discord, I'll take a look at it. But yeah, so HN, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, so the thing is, it would have been ideal had we been able to really push them out of Mersing, but the fact is, he's had to send additional troops here to Mersing, which means he has additional troops that aren't here. And that's not a weak force he's sent there. Interesting. The number of aircraft flying is relative to how much information you have about a target. If it was just a single ship, so the air routine descent. Right, okay. Shock attack at Tarawa. Yeah, that does make sense. Banzai. Aye, he did. Though, thankfully, we committed to only a deliberate attack. Right, so with the capture of Tarawa, obviously we have a base closer to the front now. Allied shock attack at Xinjiang. Yeah, these engineers are not going to make it out. But the thing is, he could have had Xinjiang return before. And he did not. So, we've actually gained an extra day there. Sure, he has a lot of Chinese troops built up here, but they don't really matter too much. If he comes to knocking at Hankow, he's definitely going to lose them. Frankly, I'm fine with this. The main battle is here at Danyang. Yeah, the capture of Xinjiang. Ah, good. At least some of them have made it out. If I can get them out alive, that would be fantastic to Hankow. Okay, so let's take a look at losses then. 380 casualties, 22 casualties to the Allies. Right, bombardment attack at Chang. Yeah, he's definitely building up a lot of force here. See, the thing is, he's thrown all of his eggs into two baskets really. He's built up a lot of forces at Chang. He's built up a lot of his forces over here at Xinjiang. He has a couple thousand over in this area. But the thing is, we are building up numbers. And really building up those numbers and that firepower. So the thing is, yeah, sure, he can waste his time at Chang, he can waste his time at Xinjiang and outside of Hankow. That is not going to stop me when it actually matters, which is here. Because once we knock his door down here, he's going to find that very difficult to stop. Right, Allied shock attack. Let's see how well this does. Yeah, that's going to be mauled, ideally. 80 casualties sustained. 179 inflicted upon the enemy. Nothing too serious. We did come out worse there technically as we do lose a squad. But that's not too bad. Okay. So. Oh, see you later there, Lupus. An interesting turn there. We had some important things happen. Definitely not the largest of turns. Though we'll have to take a look at what's actually happened to really reveal more information. Now, I do find it interesting that we did hear about a carrier report. I do wonder if that was actually a allied sighting of our own carriers, which is potentially possible. It could be from the submarines outside of what is now the Singapore Express. It could be Kitiputa has been spotted. Right, we've got a new engineer unit there, that's very handy. Okay, so let's take a look at what has actually happened and really start to make some sense of the situation here. Okay, so we are seeing submarines outside of Midway. That's really what we expected. They shouldn't be there. They've been drawn in by something. Yeah, there's absolutely no reason for them to be there. They have been drawn in by something. That's an absolute certainty. So basically, I've got the carriers here to max reaction. If I did change, well, I need to change that down to only 2 hexes. I do not want them to be dragged away. So I imagine it might be this task force over here is aware of. Possibly. Possibly. I'm not seeing any allied ships being sighted here. We do have our submarines move out into the new sea lanes, the hunting lanes, which is going to be quite good. What do we have down here? So we have found another... Oh, hello, an AGP. Now that's actually a worthwhile target. What do we have here in terms of ammunition? We do have torpedoes. We're down to 83% of our ammunition here for the torpedoes, but we do have our guns. The main thing to note is the fact that this is an unescorted convoy. Right, light cruisers here. Okay, so I'm going to assume that we do have information, possibly. Interesting. Right, what do we have here then? An LST, you say? Well now, if you insist, then I would like to target that. So let's take a look at what we have in the area then. So we see here then currently a transport ship. We also see a auxiliary ammunition carrier. I do believe that what is what an AGP is. We have over here potentially the 2 light cruisers, potentially something else. We know there's a troop transport around here. That may be these ships, it may be these. But then we also have a LST over here and a transport. But there's 4 ships moving east. So, to be honest, we've actually moved into this area at a fantastic time. And yeah, there's only 2 light cruisers in that area. He's not going to be able to defend everything. We killed something else down here as well, in the Bass Strait. We do have additional submarines moving into the area. Actually, it's actually working out to be quite a little coup down here. We've actually discovered this. So this is the point to make here about Fiji. All these ships are moving by Fiji. So should we actually secure Fiji, which we will ideally do, just imagine what we could do here with planes. Imagine the devastation we'd cause. Now we have the forces from Canton Island over there. We've taken Tarawa, so we need to load back up ASAP and get moving once again. We cannot slow the progress here. But yeah, you take a look at all these submarines that are moving into the area. I have an additional 4 as well to actually break up and send, which are on their way from truck, which are here. Yeah. So we are flooding this area with submarines right now, which he's going to find difficult to handle, ideally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the naval guard over here to load right back on those ships and get moving. We can't afford to miss any single moment of opportunity. We need to move ASAP. Okay, not docked. Can't dock here. There should be no reason why they can't actually load them. Okay. That's a lie, because you've carried them here. Unless we have to leave some of them behind, then fair... well, so be it. They should have room here. Okay, I want you to actually plan for Fiji. Tell them to plan for Suva. I'll tell all the actual forces in the area to start planning for Suva. Okay. Is that all? We'll have to do that one individually. The good news is, once we actually tell them to plan, it will give them that edge when it actually comes to assaulting the island. I think we can take it, to be honest. I think it's actually turned into something rather interesting. I do not think he's actually expected to see activity in this area to such a degree as well. I mean, granted he would have expected some activity, but I don't think he would have expected this many submarines. Which is great, because it's actually working into some sort of a coup for us. You take a look at the range here. So for example, if I put them onto full range, sorry, full speed. Yeah, see, he's moving west here. We'll find him. We will find him. And we do have search planes as well, which definitely makes them much more deadly. But this LST over here, if we actually sink this LST, that is going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let's take a look at the damage here. You do have a little bit of engine damage, granted, but that's nothing major, is it? It says like 2 major, but yeah, I don't think there's any issues that you can actually operate. Let's take a look at munitions. I don't know, I think it's going to be rather interesting. The thing is, we do have a couple days, obviously, before we can even really think of getting the boots on the ground here. But I think we do have some hunting grounds available. I think it's going to knock him off his step slightly. I do wonder what Task Force 163, basically the carrier Kargan and Akagi, actually did find, because they would not have moved down this way unless they had something in their sights, which I do find interesting. Right, so that's our combat reports. Let's take a look at operations. Yeah, we will get an appropriate amount of force down there. We'll take a look at what we can actually send and work out whether it's feasible or not. But it may be worthwhile to actually just take your ships down there. Just a question, why do you try to land straight on Suva and not on Nadi? Is it not smarter to unload somewhere unguarded to reduce casualties on attack on the land? Well, the thing is, we're going to go for Suva because at the end of the day, if I can break him in one go, I'd rather break him in one go. We also do have a level 1 port here. We have a level 3 port over here, which would mean we'd be able to unload sooner. But we could take that into consideration. I'd just rather break him here in one battle than spend a couple battles. I've taken Fiji, spent 9 naval guard units on it. I think it can be done. We do have the submarines in the area. Of course, they're all using float planes, so we can continue to gather information on the island and really take a look at the actual numbers there. I don't think he's going to be too particularly happy to take the risk to send additional troops here, while there is a large submarine presence. I may divert additional submarines to the area just to make sure we drive that point home. But he cannot move troops there. But we'll take a look at what we have coming then. Like, for example, I could have the Guam cover force actually move into that area. Unless he's operating actual aircraft, then I don't think we'd actually do too badly there. For example, the Nagata and the Mutsu. Yeah, 42,000 yard range there. We are fully ready to go on munitions. I think we could put the Fear of God into him there. 2 divisions, wow, goddamn. But we'll take a look at what we actually, well, what we actually have to play with then. So over here we do have 4,816 troops ready for the Fiji landings. I really want Fiji, apparently so do the Allies. 2 US Army Divisions and Marine Regiment, Jesus. But I think this is a sufficient amount of force, and the thing is they are ready to go now. We could move now. And to be honest, I could take a look at actually just taking some of these additional ships out and having them follow up. Yeah. I'll take a look at this. So if we have Task Force 348 begin moving to Fiji, it'd take us a good few days to actually get there. A good few days. I think it may be the case that we escort the actual landing craft in, the actual transports in, but I think it might be worthwhile to actually send the Guam Cover Force out at full speed. We do have oilers over here in the Marshall Islands, have them refueled underway, but potentially have the actual warships arrive in this area. He would have the potential to use aircraft against us, but it would be rather interesting. I don't know, what do you guys think? Because we still have additional troops to draw upon then. For example, we do have just over 1,000 men here. We have, so about 1,500 men here. We could, I guess the deadline for Fiji is about the 15th of January. If you've not got it by then, you're going to struggle to get on the cheap, yeah. Well, we have troops that are only... let's take a look then. How far away are they? I mean, obviously these guys are fast transports, so that'd only be about 300 men. But the thing is, we could potentially risk something like that. Not on Suva, but it might be what we could potentially risk landing at Nadi. Take the French territory. Well, like Horn Island? Or do you mean like Noumea? I don't know what's in Noumea, to be honest. Fiji is the absolutely most important thing here. I don't know. See, I wish I could put them all into the same task force. They're not too terribly slow, though, so that's not too bad. They are running... Actually, no, they do have a decent bit of fuel. I am somewhat tempted to actually have them head out now. Noumea. I'm blind again, I know. Wallace Horn. What the hell's Noumea? Oh, Noumea. God, I'm looking for Noumea, not Noumea. Right. Let's take a look. So I know we have potentially additional troops. Of course, we do have the troops over here as well. So that is currently 468 infantry with... Right, 36 on board. So that's just about what? 468 infantry, 420 line. Yeah, I think we could bring about 6,000 troops to bear on the island in a space of a week to 2 weeks. I think we could definitely do that. I think that is within the realms of possibility. Okay. Now, if I was to base aircraft at, let's say, Tarawa, it's not bloody great, and I don't think we'd be able to get away with it with there being 0. But we may be able to base our float planes there, our patrol planes. I don't know if they'd be able to base there, but it might be a possibility. Now, the range is 32, which is obviously too far anyway. Or is it? Yeah, it's too far. I think we could pull it off. I do have an additional destroyer there. We have the submarine tender. We need to gather, well, marshal our forces that we have in the area. Right, you've actually reached here. Can I refuel you while you're here? Dock, replenish. We've taken on some fuel, haven't you? Okay, just return to the island. You should have the fuel to make it. Well, you have more fuel than you started with anyway. Attack with one small group at the port of Nadi, take the other two bigger groups on the main port. We could do that. We could attempt something like that. It would be quite dangerous. See, how fast could the Guam force be there? If I was to have them make speed for Fiji, how fast could be there? How soon could they be there, sorry? Right, if I make full speed. I could potentially have the battleships follow up behind. So what I'll do here is I'll actually just take out the battleships for the time being. Mind messing. Alright. Again, if you want me to take a look at something, just send me it as a Discord link and I'll definitely take a look at that. Right, let's take a look at full speed here. I'd like to see how that turns out. Okay, so you can see... let's just bring up our drawing tool. Oh yeah, we're in bloody full screen, aren't we? Okay. So that's 7 hexes. Six hexes. So it's a difference of 1 hex of about 40 miles in terms of distance that would cover. Right, what we'll do here then. Oh, right, fair enough. Is that the direct route? That's not... We'll make that the direct route. Okay. So silver is about 48 hexes away. So what we'll do then is 48 divided by 7. So we'd be there in about 6 to 7 days. About 7 days, really. If we go by the speed of the battleships, we'll be there in 8 days. So it's the difference of a day, really, when we arrive. I don't know, what do you ladies and gentlemen think? Do we... because we could attempt a fast transport landing over here. And don't get me wrong, like 1,500 troops is no small matter either. That's still a decent force. I think it would it'd be very risky. Be very, very risky. Super risky. I could have the 2 destroyers land forces. They might have a chance of pulling off due to their speed and armament. But it would be very risky. The thing is, it could take him... I don't know. He might take then a day or two to potentially reach this side of the island. I'd say probably a day. Give or take, something of that nature. Maybe 2 days. It does depend. So, let's work out how long it would take us to actually get there. So if I was to move at full speed... Is this the actual distance here? I don't think it's far off. 26. 25, okay. And... Right. 4 hexes per day. Our fuel's quite low, however. Okay, that's doable. If his carriers have, bad things are going to happen to you. The thing is, well, it depends really. Where are his carriers? We have no idea here at the moment. I don't know. It really does depend, doesn't it? It really does depend. See, we're just outside of Midway. We might just go for broke and actually attack Midway now. He will know it's coming. Right, what I might do here then is actually take these two slower transports out. Even, actually take these slower transports out for the time being. No, we have 0 air support, granted. Which is why I wouldn't like to do this without the actual big guns. We're talking about the potential for American carriers to be here, but the thing is, well, what are the chances that his carriers are here? The thing is, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 submarines in the area, and we will be sending more submarines to the area. We will be sending, what is it, 3, 4 heavy cruisers. Yes, 4 heavy cruisers there. Is that 6 destroyers, 2 battleships? We do have additional forces as well that we can pull together. Plenty more submarines to send down to that area as well. I think that's something that we'll actually think over for a little while, see what people's opinions on it are. I mean, I'm all for broke, to be honest. It's like we have identified that the enemy on Fiji consists of just over 1,000 men. I think we might have caught him at a critical stage here, depending. Obviously, we'll keep on building up our information, and we'll prepare. It would have been nice to have had the carrier support, but frankly, I think we might be able to put it off. We'll see here. I think we have to be quite bold. I think I've been watching for about an hour. When does the fight begin? Well, how it works is basically we spend about, well, all this time is going to be issuing orders, and then you have the turn resolution at the start of the turn. So it's like, if you take a look at previous episodes, you'll always see a turn resolution in part 1. That's when you see the actual turn play out. Okay, we do have a lot of aircraft here. Sorry, a lot of ships here. I still can't fathom as to why they're here. Okay. Partial clouds. What is the weather over the targets here? Weather's not great. It's not too bad, though. Yeah, weather is pretty bad down this area. I really do hope we can actually destroy some of these ships over here, because that would be very, very nice. Okay, we'll take a look at the operations report again. Right. I-156, we need to find you. Obviously, you're heading out to replenish at Hiroshima. Obviously, that is way too far out. Turbulence in the waters near Kotobaru. Fukijima. Interesting. Howland Island. Yes, we are seeing plenty of submarine activity around the Gulf of Siam. See, the actual Kates that we do have in that area, we will set to ASW duties then, just to actually have something additional there. Yeah, there's a lot of submarine activity near Formosa. Task Force 339 sites PBY 5 Catalina 180-105. 180, what was it, 135? Actually, I'll just double check that. Oh, 105. Okay, so just over you. That's interesting, man. Level bomber, I'm going to imagine that's the B-17s he has on ASW duties there. Ah, there we go. Okano is credited with kill number 2. Assad is credited with kill number 2. Inano credited with kill number 2. Yeah, number of zeros here written off. But the thing is, the actual fighter might be destroyed, but the pilot is still alive. We do have a 0 that's missing. Crashes on landing. It's a shame that we do lose our pilot here. Bloody loses one of them here. Cruiser miner, the supposedly reported hit. Natoro detected by Allied floatplane. There we go. Kill number 2, kill number 3. Right, our troop transports, well, our actual transport aircraft there. Moving supplies of Wake, Chiang Mai, Ichang, Hong Kong. Why to Hong Kong? Right, so capture Tarawa, Allied forces capture Xinjiang. Okay. Some of our forces there have been upgraded. Okay, so the A5M4 is going back into the pool, so the K27s. Advice is upgrading to the 34th Division, supplied from Ichang. Well, that's good then. The 36th Japanese Naval Air Force unit arrives at Tokyo. Okay. Reported to have been sunk near Georgetown on the 8th of December. That's interesting. Right, radio transmissions at Seattle, radio transmissions of Vladivostok, 126.42. Let's figure out where that is then, shall we? Oh wow, 126, what was it, 142? Okay, so... he may have something out in this area by the Santa Cruz Islands. I mean, that is where we've picked up a radio transmission. So that's interesting, then. So with that, it has revealed something which could be pretty pivotal. I am going to see if my H6Ks can redeploy to Tarawa. I don't think they can, but it would be good to find out if they could do. So let's see, does it come up as an option? They could be rebased at Tarawa, and they are rebased at Tarawa. Right, now we're talking. I'll have to supply the island via the air. Right, 2 of them are damaged there. We do obviously still have 3 reserves, that's fine. Still have 15 pilots. But the good thing is we can actually cover this area by the Santa Cruz Islands. And we can actually, yeah, if you take a look at this, that's not too far away from where we'd really want it. But at least we will have further information. It's a damn shame that we don't have that range. If we did have that range, that would be phenomenal. But we are closing in, which is very nice. But I'm rather interested to see what we could do about the transmission from from Santa Cruz Island. Let's take a look. Seattle to 1252. 68 116. 89 40. 89 167. Right, 89. Yeah. You're damn right there. I think for the time being it would be worthwhile to actually just have some patrols going out that way. Right, 89... What was it? 18 something or other? Sorry, 89167. 89167. Okay, so it seems like there's activity around Sydney. So there, Cola, how you doing, my friend? Shoot them in from Japan. $126.42. And then we have 89.40 to take a look at. So we can surmise there's activity around Sydney. 89.40. Okay, then I'm going to assume obviously that is something in China. Yeah, I'm pretty confident on that one. 25,000 troops there. Okay, the 19th Division has arrived, the 35th Division has arrived. I would still like us to have some artillery, but that is going to take some time to move. But the good thing is we have now sufficient force in place to actually evict them from this area quite handily. Okay, we're going to go with a deliberate attack. I mean, the thing is, could we risk a shock attack? I'd rather not risk a shock attack. The 35th has taken a battering, to be honest. They're not in the best shape. Okay, his forces here are moving. These bloody Chinese being a pain in the arse. The 15th Division has finally, at last, arrived. So we will have them begin to conduct deliberate attacks and evict the Chinese here. Right. Are we in the same hex here? No, we're actually in different hex. Though, you're moving here. The 39th Division will possibly catch them. The 116th Division is closing on Chuxian. Yes, his forces over here are moving out. It may be worth our time to actually potentially run a deliberate attack on the Chinese here. Not that we could destroy them, but it would delay them and inflict losses upon them. Right, he does have forces moving upon Fuchao. At Fuchao, we do actually have a decent force here, actually. That's quite nice. We'll set them to combat. Yes, our orders are to defend. The fortifications here are only level 1. We'll tell them to begin building fortifications. Possibly. No, we'll leave it, actually. I can use my air power to assist them. Ichang. Right, more units here. Yeah, we do need Sword Ichang. The question is how. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. It's like we are doing this miles from our own air power. But from what we can see here, he's not showing air power in this area. Obviously, he could move it here a hell of a lot easier than I can. The closest I can get is just a couple hexes away. Just a few hexes out. Which is the absolute best I can manage right now. Our air power is over here, currently by Midway. Once we wrap up operations at Midway, Kido will be moving south. What I'm thinking here is we do have... I think I'll probably keep the battleships and the heavy cruisers together, probably for the best. We have them make for all possible speed here. We use the oiler that we have over here. Right, we have an aviation unit here. Why are they unloading? Do not unload. Okay. Cancel unloading. So that gives us just about 400 engineers. Mash your tanks and push north, west from Hankow and clear the road. Keep your infantry moving towards Changsha. Yeah, that's the idea. From Hankow, wow. Oh yeah, Midway is an operation that we really cooled on. The only reason it's going ahead is because we already had forces on their way there. What we'll do is we'll take the island, we'll deny him another base just to base his patrol planes from. Other than that, it's like I might leave a garrison behind, I might not. If I do, it's going to be something light, but the idea is we just deny him the base for the time being. As soon as we're able to, we will move. We will not mess about there. Midway, it's okay. It's just another island to just deny him for the time being. It doesn't mean anything more than that. Is it worth anything? It's worth a couple of victory points. Other than that, it's not really worth anything. There's no illusions to that. Fiji is the main target because it's worth so much more. Oh, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong about that. Right. We are moving towards the Torres Strait, which is good. We did spot some actual ships over here. Our submarines are moving down to that area, which is for the best. We lost sight of this convoy over here, unfortunately. I don't know where they may have headed. Okay. You need to head into Saigon. Right. It looks like we're just lacking torpedoes here. But it looks like the main guns have been reloaded, which is very good. Yeah, the main guns have been reloaded. Well, to be honest, as Japan, obviously we need the resources. There is a victory point victory that is potentially achievable. If we take, well, obviously if we did extremely well and took loads and loads of objectives. We are trying for the victory point victory. Due to the fact that's the only way we can win in the short term. Otherwise, he will grow in strength. It's pretty much we've got to take the victory points. So there, Carl, how you doing, my friend? The turn was actually rather interesting. We did see some small victories. Noticeable, however, is the fact of what we found over here by Fiji. I mean, 5 ships here. 3 ships moving west over this way. And then an additional 4 ships over here. Importantly being the LST, importantly being the AGP. So I have good news. You have 3 memes loaded. Oh good. Oh good. My fucking favourite. Right. It's been very quiet over here by Pearl Harbor. Okay. Where are they heading? Yeah, I think I might have sent way too much there. But I suppose it would be better to have it. Why do I have... right, you've coming from the north, haven't you? Okay, that's good. Hello there, Kosar. How you doing, my friend? I'd imagine Tokyo is still going to be complaining about the amount of supplies, but the amount of supplies there is going to obviously increase quite quickly, which is always a good thing. Importantly, we aren't seeing any other industrial centres complain, so that's good news. Right, we are loading up here. They've actually... yeah, they're going to be loaded up pretty quickly. We've almost finished unloading here. That's very nice. Ah, right. So there's the convoy that is going to deliver additional supplies into China. I mean, we can hope not. At the end of the day, it's one of these things of like, he's got just as much of a vested interest in making sure the game is all fair, just as I have. Okay, our fighters, our bombers recovering there. How are the Ka-43s doing? Right, 4 of them are ready to go. We'll have a couple more the day after, then yeah. Yeah, exactly. Martin's correct there. So, Kersar, when do I get something from Austria? When do I get some kind of souvenir? Come on, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. I'd love to have something from Austria. See, I'm quite easy, me. Whenever any friends go on holiday, you know the thing that I ask them for? I don't ask them for like a card or anything like that. I ask them for a single solitary rock. And you know why I ask for a rock? 1, because it's nice to have something from another place. And 2, because it's so simple. So easy. But if they fuck up and they don't bring you back that rock, you're like, mate, I asked you for a rock. I asked you for something you could pick up the ground and you couldn't be asked. You owe me. Oh dear. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is it. It's like, I can make speculations. I'm sure the historical gamer makes speculations. Of course, DHG does benefit from the fact that the Allies do have the magic system well, modelled. Oh, yeah. He gets a much better idea than I do. Like, for example, if I take a look at my signal intelligence report here, I'd imagine his would be far, far better. And probably more accurate. It's like we could tell that when it's talking about signal activity from this area, it's talking about just outside of Sydney, when we know it is going to be Sydney that the activity is coming from. How are we doing on the mines over here? I'd imagine we would have gotten rid of some of them, surely. That's a fair number of minesweepers as well. Ah, thanks, man. I'd love that. We don't do rocks. Right, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to save the game. We're going to load it up in the tracker and just take a look at a couple of things, to be honest. Right, do we have that saved? Just going to double check. So that is save 85. I do need to get garrisons to these different bases. I am letting them rot just for the time being. Right now, some snow back home. I hear though meters upon meters of snow. Yeah, that does sound about right. Okay. Let's wait for the stream to readjust. There we go. So I'm looking for save 85. Right, here we go, put it in 85. I'm going to have to archive some of these saves, to be honest. I'm starting to use a lot of them. Right, save. We'll run the tracker here. I've run the wrong bloody one. And that's what I get when I bloody... Ugh. Okay, that's going to take some time. There we go. Usually doesn't work again that soon. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do here then, first of all, is take a look at the current turn, which the last loaded turn was 11. What I'm going to do is take a look at our industry. So, 6,247 points of heavy industrial. So there, Paul, how you doing, my friend? So this is obviously what we're lacking here. Okay. What we'll do then is we'll load the current turn and just see what the differences here are. So read the turn. Okay, we're loaded. So just bear in mind these numbers. Do we have a changer? Right, let's... Current turn, which is 12. Industry. Right, okay, so... Tokyo is still ticking on by, that's good news. That does sound about right. How's the anime industry looking? To be honest, it needs about two rather large atomics to get it going. Okay. Why does it put critical at the top and then all these other ones down here? That doesn't really make sense. Never mind. Okay, so the Nagara Maru has been repaired at Takao. We sank the Prussia, or the Prusa. Yep, obviously the 54th Sentai has been upgraded, we already know about that. Our leaders, obviously, they've been attached. That's going to be very important. Yep, these aircraft have been upgraded. We have additional zeros now. Obviously, we need to wait for them to be ready. We have our divisions here. I need to be very careful about the actual numbers. Yeah, indeed. Right. Of course, we lost the bases in Yang. We'll recapture in the end. Right, here we go. So, 24th Sentai. Captain Yonaga, leadership has increased, inspiration has increased, administration, air skill, aggression, naval, land skill. Lieutenant Maki, aggression, naval skill increased. Now 22, now 16. Oof, not a massive difference there, is it? Obviously, Bangkok is suffering from lack of supply. We'll have supplies sent over via air for the time being. Right. Aircraft production, building. Sold by our numbers here. Okay, so we're now up to 66 zeros a month. So that's 2.2 per day. Currently 0 in the pool, obviously, because we've just used a few. We do have 3 Oscars in the pool. We're now up to 53 Oscars. Which is nice. Do I actually produce aircraft over here at Harbin? Manchukuo? Do I really? I didn't realize I'd have any aircraft manufacturing outside of Japan itself. So that's actually a new one. I'll have to check that one out, actually. Yeah, looks like we currently just have that one. Yeah. Wow, okay. That's interesting. Let's take a look at the history of the Zero then. And we'd lost a huge amount of zeros in the first turn, which really did suck. I mean, all of that was down to bloody AA. So he had a really good one there. That did set us back quite considerably. It would have been bloody nice to have had all those zeros, but oh well. Remember to get the, yeah, definitely, to prepare your bases for airplanes. You're absolutely right there, mate. But if we take a look, obviously the numbers have been rapidly increasing. There's not been that many losses. I mean, you take a look over here, 56, 57, 62, 68, 69, 64, and then we haven't lost a single zero for a good few turns there. From turn 7 to turn 11, we didn't lose a single zero. We lost a few here. I think a lot of them would be probably down to operational, more than air-to-air. But we are making these numbers up again. Okay, now with the Oscars. Yeah, these numbers are increasing quite nicely. So obviously this is a pool here. Yeah, I can see the change is positive. And that's just growing. Which is what we want to see happening. Quite rapid progress as well. You take a look at 41 to 44, 44 to 57, 57 to 50 to 53. So it looks like 3 factories coming online now each day, give or take. How about engine production? Obviously we need the engines to keep up. Okay, so there's a positive change here since turn 7. So we are producing enough engines to cope with demand, and we're actually producing over the amount required. I do have 178 in the pool at the moment. I need to bang that up to 500 engines to get an R&D bonus. I'm building a lot of these engines and I don't know why. But I'm not building them. I think we just have... But it says I'm building them. Strange, okay. I may want to take a look at building more 34s, to be honest. Obviously, we'll have the Tojos, I will be using those. Right, okay. But that's going well. We are making those numbers up, which is good. What I want to know about is actual ship production. Obviously, we're never going to see Shinano. Yamato, obviously, her construction has been halted. I do need to find out what day she would actually come online. I want her to come online at the same time as Musashi. We are saving a little bit of heavy industry here. Obviously, we are saving it in the actual naval shipyard points. Where is it? Right, yeah. The carriers, the Junyo class, has been accelerated, so Junyo and Hiyo should arrive sooner. I think they'll arrive towards the beginning of 1942, which is obviously going to be quite important to say that we have a carrier with additional 53 aircraft there, which is going to be quite nice. It's a shame they don't come with a radar. It'd be bloody nice to have the radar, but they'll come when they come. Okay. Let's take a look at our pilots then. So, active fighter. Let's see. Special. Right, what I'd like to see then is the number of kills here. So that's the actual squadron kills here. So the Tainan KUS-1 squadron has currently 32 kills to their names. The Yamada detachment has 15, 11 to the 3rd KUS-1 detachment. Yeah, okay. That's pretty fantastic. They've been doing quite a lot of work there. 29 pilots, active 46. We do have 2 missing in action. Experience 68, morale's 85, fatigue 21. Who is the most experienced squadron man? Apparently the 24th Sentai. Well, then again, they are up there with the squadrons from Akagi. Which is a shame because these are squadrons that did take the biggest hits. As far as I can remember. Actually, I could take a look at it here to replace the poorer performing squadron leaders. There's only 1 aircraft in there. Yeah, I'd like to actually make use of these Tojos. Somehow, anyway. Okay, let's take a look at pilots. So, Asada there. Yeah, Tainan KUS-1 on board the light carrier Ryujo. You currently are the pilot with the most claimed kills that are still alive, with 4 confirmed kills here. 30 missions flown. Who is our most experienced pilot? He's actually in a D4Y3 Judy. Oh no, never mind. You're actually not active yet. That's interesting. See, this is something I need to figure out more, how the actual pilot training pool works. Understand that one would be nice. Okay. So we can see the actual global usage of resources here. So obviously in the first initial turns, 1,859, well, minus 1,859. Obviously bear in mind that's on top of the heavy industry we produce. And then we've started to build up the heavy industry again. Use a hell of a lot of manpower there. Hell of a lot of manpower has been used. But we are building it back up, thankfully. Armaments. We'll continue to lose armaments, but yeah, you take a look at these numbers, we're not using a huge amount. Vehicles, I think we need to produce more vehicles here, because we seem to be lacking. Navy, Merchant Marine, well, Merchant Pool. Now, so this is from turn 1 to 12 rather than 1 to 12 like that way. So obviously the amount of supply has dropped due to the fact it's being used. Does the supplies... Was that base supply? Okay. Fuel. Resources is what we're interested in. I do wonder what it means by bunker. Or base resources. I don't know if that means bunker or base. I'm going to assume bunker as in, like, stored resources. That's task force resources. I know it would be base resources, I'd imagine. Yeah, base resources, i.e. what's in the bases. And task force resources, so i.e. what's being carried, and then the total amount of resources. So you can see here then, turn 2 and 3, obviously we were picking up resources from all over. You can see here, turn 4 is where it really started to increase in numbers. Yeah. Not dramatically so. I mean, 616,000 to 667, so obviously that was a pickup about 50,000 tons there. But you can see there was a big difference between 83,000 tons to 200,000 tons to 324 to 519. And then it did slow down to a degree, but big difference there in resources. You can see that we started with 7.322 million tons. We're now down to 6,620,000 tons. It's going to creep back up though, that's the good news. So if I take a look at the chart. There we go. Resources. Yeah, so you can see... So that's the supply, right, resources here. So you can see it slightly dips. It is dipping. But it will increase again. Production of heavy industry has definitely shot up there. Merchants obviously decreased due to the fact that we aren't... I don't think we're producing that terribly much. Navals remained... Actually no, naval has slightly increased. Manpower obviously dropped... But reached a peak there, and somewhat plateau in here. Armaments is steady. Well, actually, no, that's armaments there, isn't it? So we obviously are using more armaments. I think we may need to consider increasing the amount of vehicles being produced. Hello there, Artem. How you doing, my friend? Okay. So let's take a look at oil and resources then. So obviously I want to find out about resources. Sold by heavy industry. That would be Tokyo. May just need a moment to come up there. I think. Right, okay. Might be that one. Yep. It's one of these, isn't it? I might have to click on Japan first. Yeah, wall by spreadsheet. Right, there we go, that's what I was looking for. Okay, so you can see that we did have on turn 11 an increase in amount of resources actually in Tokyo, well in Japan itself. You can see obviously it has dropped down from 4575 to 4512. So that's a drop of about 60-odd thousand tons. But that's not bad. That's not bad. These numbers will start to increase again at some point in the future. See you later there, Kusa. Do remember to send me that rock. I will be expecting it. Ideally, given, not thrown. Okay, victory points. Yeah, she was not worth a lot. Okay. Actually... we'll take a look at the signal intelligence later, to be fair. Right. How is our progress over here? So we've actually arrived en force over here at the American bases. 25... Well, that's the range anyway. 2 units here. 21 units here. That's a lot of patrol craft, a lot of PT boats. There's another plane for 24th Sentai that's ready to actually combine again with the squadron. And the good thing is we actually do have aviation support here. Not terribly much of it, but at least it's something. Right. You're going to be moving this turn up via the rails, which is good. That's what I like to see. Okay. It's going to take you a couple days to march out the Kimura detachment. The terrain is actually clear here, and then jungle. That's going to take some time. We will make good progress here, though. Very good progress here. At Lucina. We've actually made good progress then from the base over here at Antimanan to Lucina. Due to the fact that we are marching across clear terrain, we also do have the road network there, which is actually not too terribly bad density. It does increase in density as we do go further up into Luzon, which is quite nice. Making our way down here. Not a huge amount of salt value, to be honest. Definitely do not want to engage with the enemy. Apparently I've captured this base here. Okay, that's not too bad, then. At least we have it under our control now. And that would actually suggest the fact that there's no allied forces there, so that means we can actually consolidate at that position. So, not too bad. Not too bad, at least in this area. Lost sight of what was here. If I may ask, what is the reason behind not bombing Singapore? So, let's take a look at Singapore itself then. So we have 46 fighters currently. Now the thing is, we do have a lot of fighters there at the moment. What we have done, and what we did do in the previous turn actually, is we've fundamentally buzzed Johor Bahru. What I mean by that is we are trying to draw out his fighters. We're trying to draw them out so we can actually annihilate them away from the benefit of his AA. So once we do reduce his number of fighters in this area, it will not take us too long to do it. It's going to be an attritional test, but we will be able to manage it. See, the thing is, as Japan, we can actually step up the amount of replacements we need by increasing the industrial production of certain models. As the Allies, he does not have that capability. He gets what is bloody well given. So we do have that advantage going for us. So obviously we've increased, well, we're focusing heavily on the KA-43 and the A6M2. Now we don't have the KA-43 1C model over here, we do have the 1A and the 1B. But we do have the A6M2 platform here, operating from SOC and from Singora. Of course, then we'll also have it from the Singapore Express. So, the thing is, as he continues to lose fighters, he can't replace them in time, whereas we can replace them. And yeah, that's going to mean that we'll be able to eliminate his fighters. Once we eliminate his fighters from the field, we'll be able to then bomb Singapore practically with impunity. We'll knock out the actual airbase. First and foremost. That's the actual goal. Now, Merce Singh, it's a shame we did lose a lot of our combat value there. I think it might be prudent to potentially remain on defensive here, just not push our luck. He may decide to go for the defense, for the shock attack. So apparently he has 10,000 troops here. That's a big old investment in numbers there. That's a big old investment. 47,000. So it's about 60,000 troops in this area. Give or take. We have a lot of engineers here. There's a lot of old engineers. Okay, so we're upgrading. Whoa. So I just got a shock there. So we are upgrading the airfield here. We are upgrading the actual fortifications as well. So that's good news. Ah, God, I had a fright of my life. My dad came up and just put a coffee on my desk and just scared the shit out of me. Okay. I may actually try to pull out the Congo while I have the opportunity. See, I'm looking forward to using the Sinshu Maru. The fact that she's a landing ship is going to be greatly handy elsewhere. LCT. Right, you're heading home to replenish, actually. I don't think you need to be honest. I think you just need your base to be readjusted. I do have an submarine tender over this way. Yes, I do, actually. We'll have your new base as Kutabaru. So what I'm going to tell you to do is get right back into that bloody action, because you are needed elsewhere. Indeed. In fact, I'm going to probably have you patrol, I'd say... So I do have a couple here. I'm going to say potentially down this area. Which I think is where you're actually from, to be honest. Right, just add the one again. There we go. Linger a day at each. Munitions is pretty good. Obviously, you use quite a lot of your gun. But that's not too bad. Right, I'm a little annoyed that we didn't see more planes actually fly. I don't think the weather's been bloody good to us, has it? What is the weather report? So the prediction for next turn then is partly cloudy. That's not too bad. Yeah, partly cloudy here. We should be able to fly in that. And let's take a look at the numbers of aircraft we destroyed then. And obviously suffered. So, today. So we lost 8 A672-0s, 4 to air-to-air, 4 to operational losses there. He has lost 8 Buffaloes. 8 of them in the air-to-air. We've lost 6 G4s. He's lost an additional 2 Warhawks, 2 H-81s. Operational there. Okay. So, 8, 10, 12, 14. So he's lost 14 fighters to our 8. Sadly, 4 of those was operational, while as the vast majority here were in the air. Air-to-air, basically. It's a shame about the bomber losses. But this is why we need to actually take out his fighters. Currently none in the pool. Right, so I can actually throw 24 B5N1 Betty, sorry, no, B5N1 Kates into this area then on anti-submarine duties. Trying to obviously open this up. Right, we do have another force over here then. So we've actually reinforced this one quite nicely. So at least now we do have the 22nd Reconnaissance 18th Mountain Guns being escorted by 2 destroyers, 4 patrol boats, and a destroyer minesweeper, which obviously is going to make a difference. Now then, these forces are headed out to San Fernando Air Force Base, then escorting our actual support ships, which is very important. We do currently have the carriers over here. These may have been the carriers that were detected as well. They're currently carrying the 16th Infantry. Yeah, 5,541 troops there, plus their equipment and supply. Huge amounts of supply there. Importantly, they are carrying... what do we have aboard? We do have some A5M4s, we do have some B4Y1s, and then some Kates. Really doing jack shit, really. They're majority on ASW patrol, to be honest. As are they. They're not brilliant at it, but at least they are there. I could throw in some additional escorts from somewhere, potentially. Yes, like over here, for example, we do have the Brisbane Maru and the Hawaii Maru. These are Kyushu's very, very good, which I would like to actually get out into the shipping lanes. But I do have myself now 2 additional destroyers that are freed up, as well as the patrol boats and sub-chasers, which is going to be very handy. Okay. Let's take a look elsewhere then. So what we need to do then is we'll have to shock attack here to actually capture the base of Lucina, but we need to immediately begin marching. Now, how will this work then? Where can I march to? So it seems I do have the option to actually march to Batangas, or I could march to Mauban. Well, let's consider which base is actually worth taking. It's going to be quite important. So if we take a look over here then. So, Mauban, I do not think actually connects. I don't think it connects via... No, it does actually connect via roads. It's a similar density. But if we take a look, what is the terrain here? I think that is jungle. I'm going to assume... Well, that's jungle. And that's clear. I don't know what the terrain type is in Manila. Not entirely sure. Wish I could zoom in just a little bit more. But we do have clear terrain here. So what we will do then is we can travel clear to clear, which is also going to increase our speed. If we take a look over at the actual chart, clear terrain, infantry move at about 10 miles a day, armor moves at 30 miles per day, which is hugely important. That's a thing of like, do you risk sending your armor out alone? We know he has forces out here, currently 2 units, but we should be able to take that with the 334 AV. We have the 16th Division here really built up. The Kimura detachment is obviously to the south. We do have the Miura detachment on its way in. And once we actually have them in Luzon, I can actually reform the 16th Division, was it? And we'll have a more powerful force. So, what we'll have then in the south, we'll have a 16th Division. In the north, we'll have the, is it the 32nd? Sorry, we have the 33rd Division in the north. Right, so it seems like the most of the frontline troops have been unloaded. Obviously, we're still unloading here. We're unloading the 7th Tank Regiment and the 2nd Tank Regiment as well. Yeah, there we go. So we've got tanks there, medium tanks, which is going to be quite good. Yeah, additional mediums as well. 23 Type 89As, 14 Type 95s. Let's give everybody orders to obviously prepare for Manila. So that's all to prepare for Manila. See, they're currently set on strategic. Which is a shame, because I don't have a rail line here. I may want to actually upgrade this port. I'm going to tell them to upgrade the port. And the airfield while we're at it. We do have our engineers over here. Yeah, medium tanks, yeah. I know, right. Okay, tell them to all go to this operational mode. Okay. So I'm going to... I guess I'll begin to expand the airfield as well here. What I can do is actually move the fighter planes from Apari to go blah, 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 blah. As we do have 68 aviation support. Obviously a larger airfield as well, which is quite nice. So we'll move them up. Eventually we'll be able to replace them with the KA-43 IC, sorry, 1Cs. Should be nice. I do have 10 1Bs, so it might be worthwhile to actually convert a squadron of, I don't know, like maybe A5M4s to the KA-43s, but then again the A5M4s are Navy, so we'd have to find like a small squadron of KA-27s and do it like that way, to be honest. But we'll transfer them to the actual base then. So transfer you here. 50% I transferred. Yep, we can combine them again. And now it's 24th detachment. Oh, 24th wants to go down here then, doesn't it? Okay. I don't have the engineers here yet. We have captured some additional resources, which is quite nice. That will come in handy in the future. Right, yeah. The good news is, at least in the south, we are capturing rail lines. So that does mean... yes, and we have a rail line all the way from here. So what we could do then is obviously try and capture these bases along that rail line, and then we'd be able to rapidly move troops that way. Part of me wonders, are we better off having a second detachment, sorry, a second division sent down to the south for the Philippines, so we can actually push Manila? Also, where is that factory in Manchuria building planes? I think it was in actually... Hankin? Makin? Something like that? Mukden? Is it Mukden? I forgot where it bloody was now. I know it was a KA-43 factory. Harbin, that's it. Yeah, here we go. Honestly, didn't expect to see that there, but here it is. Right, I do need to increase the production here, and as well as the H6K. Potentially. Right, not a huge amount of supply here in Nagoya. I should probably tell them to actually increase that. Right, you are stockpiling resources. Of course, the issue is when we are doing this R&D, we are using a hell of a lot. But we can probably get away with it. So I just need a... well, to be fair, I've upgraded it too bloody much, haven't I? I only wanted bloody 7. Gah. I'm a bloody tool. Okay. That's annoying. We'll increase that. Seems it's only just come online then, potentially. Not a huge amount of resources here, while supply here, so I definitely need to tell them to stockpile. But bring that up. That additional production would be fantastic. Obviously that's going to cause a supply shortage, but it would be worthwhile. It would not take as long to actually fix that situation either. Okay, you're just unloading there. I mean, the good news is, it's like you take a look over here then. So we have the Hakodate to Ominato continuous supply of resources currently unloading 66,500 tons. We have this task force over here, which is unloading 68,000 tons. We have this one over here, which is obviously just finishing up, which is unloading an additional 423 tons. So with that, we've got over 120,000 tons of supply, sort of resources being unloaded. Yeah, they're taking that supply, I keep forgetting. I've got one coming in from Port Arthur, carrying 97,000 tons. That one's moving back to Shanghai to actually load up. So yeah, we've got a couple 100,000 tons of resources moving about the map here at the moment, which is fantastic. We need to make sure that at any moment in time, there is always cargo ships being loaded up. I think the best bet is obviously to run them in the big convoys from obviously the ports of origin to obviously their destination. We don't want to be running it half-arse because at the end of the day we need to make sure they're escorted. The thing is, he could have a field day should he actually run into these convoys, so it would be nice to actually find escort craft. I might want to actually just convert cargo ships I'm not going to be using. Are the resources flowing from Fusan? Oh, to Fusan from Kijo. They're currently flowing to Kijo and Fusan at the moment. See, I'm expanding the port here at Kijo. I may actually decide to actually just cancel it, but I might as well carry it on while I have it. Fusan is our major focus. I mean, you take a look at this, it's already increased in size once it's already increased into a size 6. It's definitely the main port of entry here. Yeah. Port R for their 368,000 tons of supply. Well, resources, sorry. Shanghai. Only 29,822 tons. So it's going to take some time for those resources to pile back up. Hong Kong. 47,000 tons. We have here some resource production, which is nice. At least they will build up. Fair bit of resource production in Canton as well. See, I don't know whether this unit is actually moving now. I'm going to keep this detachment of the 38th Division in place. So the good news is, should they actually cross the river, they will be greeted... Well, they will have to survive a shock attack. Which is great. Right. You're being supplied here. You do have 24,000 tons of supply. There's a lot of troops there, to be honest. Okay, so we are going to go with a deliberate attack here. Right, plan for Changchao. There we go. Chinese forces are moving here. The cavalry does need to get out. He has captured that base, which is a shame. But ultimately, well. So, as the Japanese would say. Okay. I do have this aviation unit, but I do want to get out of here. I should have a unit moving up the river here. See, they've already loaded 48,000 tons. Where's the riverine transportation? Good question. Oh, right, they've finally arrived here, haven't they? So I think the best bet here is probably bombardment. I'd say probably bombardment. He's definitely marched on Fuzhou. I think we have got him down here. I mean, the 116th Division is in a prime position. So we do have these forces over here. I have the 8th Armoured, which is only a couple armoured cars, but it could be useful elsewhere. We have the 17th Division moving on up. Yeah, they're going to move to Pengpu this coming turn. So 180 odd miles to about there. And we'll launch a deliberate attack here. So the thing is, we are going to be moving 2 divisions now into this area. A division's already in place, another division will be joining them. So we'll have 2 divisions then to begin marching up towards Xinjiang to the north, We have a couple divisions that will be marching this way. I'm just going to check on the amount of force in Manchuria. Yeah, that is getting close to the actual danger. So we do need to be quite careful of that. Really don't want to be taking too much else out of Manchuria. But if you take a look at what we obviously have built up over here at Anyang, well, Anyang. 1, 2, 3, 4 divisions. A bunch of artillery. I can rebuild this unit. We'll do that. Unit organization of the 20th Division. So I do have some over here at Kizhou. I've got some over here at Anyang. 8843. 10344. Okay, we're going to build up this division. That's what we need to do. Right, 20th Engineer Regiment. Bugger it, I'd rather have an actual division. Let's see what else we have here. th Division. Right, the rest are over here in Kizhou, but they haven't yet arrived. First Tank Division. That's rather interesting. We could actually form a full tank division. Probably a good idea. A lot of these units do have organizations that, well, higher organizations they do belong to. But we've created an actual brigade there, which is just below that of division. Task Force 322. So to be honest, I could actually reform the second... Is this a second tank division? Okay, actually all of these forces are out there. Some of them currently Camaran Bay. Ideally in the future we'll rebuild things into their full bloody divisions, to be honest. Right. Yeah, we are really just in the process of trying to rebuild our divisions. I was going to see if we have any here that could be rebuilt or built up. Why are those replacements delayed? Okay, none of them can be built up. Some forces over here at Patani. 5th Division. Yeah, so some of them over here. Some at Patani, some at Kotabaru. Okay, so we've actually arrived at Lodestar. Fantastic. It may be worthwhile for us actually to make progress down here. Yes. Georgetown. I could bypass Georgetown and drive straight onto Taiping. We do need to be careful about sending armor out on its own, though. I'm surprised about the amount of men he's sent to Mersing. That's a large number. Very large number. Okay. So when can I expect... I think we'll up the speed here. If I up that speed to full, Okay, so we'll be in this position here. So obviously well within range of enemy aircraft. It probably would be worthwhile to assign everybody to combat air patrol just to make sure that bombers do not make it through and attack the carriers. And as well, obviously, they would be running combat air patrol, so they could pick off enemy bombers as well, so this is how it goes. We'll see about that. It might be worthwhile to actually potentially head further to the north, which I'm probably going to lean towards. At least then we are closer to our own bases and further from the enemy. We could run towards our surface ships over here as well, the Gulf of Siam Surface Task Force. We do have our heavy cruisers over this way. Replenish them from the port, if I can. Right, so we are lacking then on the torpedo munitions. I'm going to say that's okay. I'm going to say that's something that we can actually manage. Yeah, we can manage that. At the end of the day, if we take a look over here then. Ace W2224. Very good. That's a good amount there. Okay. Asagari. She could make 32 knots, but I will let her have some time just to have that little bit of engine damage repaired for the time being. Okay. See, these destroyed minesweepers actually do have the capability to actually escort something. Right, the additional heavy cruisers have arrived here. We're really building up a heavy amount of force here. Very heavy amount of force. Very nice. We'll send them a divergent route. I'll have the destroying minesweepers actually set out from Saigon to link up with them as well. Therefore increasing the amount of escorts there. Destroyer tender. Potentially, we do have a submarine tender. Obviously, don't fucking unload your stuff, you idiot. Yeah, I'll just see your submarine tender. I think we do have a lot going for us, to be honest. I think it's gonna be a good turn, to be honest. Chiang Mai is complaining about supply, but we are building it up, to be fair. Right. They've begun to march. And it's going to take them some time to move that way, but they will do it. So I've detected radioactivity over here at Seattle. So you can see over here, I was hoping that we would see additional aircraft actually out here. Interestingly so, we didn't actually notice anything here. What we'll do then, I'm going to do this in the next stream, because this is about 2 hours long, so I'm going to have a bit of chill out time. But what we're going to do in the next stream is we're going to have the B5N1 Kate actually start running ASW duties over here. Really try and draw out the enemy submarines. The thing is, he has a huge amount of submarines in this area. Huge, huge amount. You can see some of them have started to move north towards our actual sea lanes. But the thing is, we've actually managed to get a good amount of resources into Japan and move in. Our convoys have been organised. He did try to unsuccessfully intercept us around the Philippines, but I think that has definitely backfired, obviously around Luzon, which I think has backfired. Due to the fact that, yeah, he's actually lost submarines there. He hasn't actually inflicted any losses with his torpedoes. And, yeah, we've actually had the time to actually get supply into Japan. So that's been quite good. So, yes, thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to support the channel, you can do so in many different ways, such as PayPal, Super Chats, and Patreon. It would be nice to have additional patrons. It really does make a big bloody difference. But also, I will be taking a look at actually producing merchandise in the future. So until next time, thank you for watching, and I do hope to see you again. You can definitely find out more on the Discord channel. So until next time, adios, muchachos.